Rajeev Chandrasekhar.
Sir, sir, thank you for letting me speak on this bill, sir. I believe this is an important bill that requires discussion and passing at the earliest. Sir, as many members have said, this bill could have been, should have been debated earlier and passed much earlier. Before this, the release of the juvenile murderer triggered this public outcry. This could have positioned the parliament in better light. You would have shown up parliament as being more responsive to what the people of India want, rather than responding to a public outcry. Sir, but I suppose better late than never. So the release of this juvenile murderer has clearly spotlighted a grave lacuna in our criminal justice system, where juveniles who commit violent crime are being released unpunished. And for those who are seeing this bill, sir, as some sort of a vengeance, I say this: a desire for justice should not be mistaken for vengeance. And this bill is really about justice for women victims who have suffered rape and murder. So this is not about vengeance, sir. This is really a bill about victims' rights. Sir, let me quote a few numbers, sir, that will put this in perspective, the need for this bill. Sir, there has been a 143% increase in the number of rapes committed by juveniles in the last 10 years. In the same period, sir, figures for murders committed by juveniles went up 87%, and a whopping 500% increase was noted in the number of kidnapping of women and girls by minors. Last Tuesday, sir, the minister herself informed the Lok Sabha about a 50.6% increase in juvenile crimes and a 42% increase in arrests. Significantly, sir, the percentage of violent crimes registered against juveniles has gone up by 15.6% of the total crimes committed by juveniles in 2012, of which murder and rape constituted only 7.7% of the total IPC crimes committed by juveniles, which is a total of 27,936, sir. This clearly indicates that violent crimes such as murder and rape constitute a sizable proportion of the crimes registered against juveniles. Sir, in light of these facts, none of us should have any hesitation in supporting this bill and the need to ensure that justice is done against juveniles who commit violent crimes, sir. So I will just make two broad points, given the paucity of time, and that there are many other members who want to speak. Sir, point number one is, justice for victims is important, but at the same time, sir, we must not forget that we have an obligation to protect our children. A child is a child is a child, and that must not be forgotten while we enter this debate of punishing violent juveniles. So, under Chapter 1, Section 233, the definition of heinous crimes, I believe, sir, is way too broad. The minister in her introductory remarks talked about rape, murder, kidnapping, trafficking, and terrorism. And I believe, sir, that ought to be the definition of heinous offenses in the bill. The bills must be specific about the definition of heinous offenses, and I request the minister to amend the definition of heinous offenses to mean murder, rape, terrorism, trafficking, and not leave it as broad as it is today, because on this clarity hinges our decision to treat a child as an adult in a criminal justice system. And I have moved an amendment for this, sir. Sir, I also agree with my colleague Derek, who has since left the House, that penalizing child traffickers is a much more important objective than penalizing those who, equal or more than penalizing those who supply intoxicants to children. The leader of the House has since clarified it, but I hope the minister will also specifically clarify on this issue, sir. Sir, my second broad point, and I'll take 2 minutes on this, sir.
1 minute more, that's all.
I'll take 2, sir. We'll negotiate this later on, sir. Section 15 of the bill puts the onus on the Juvenile Justice Board. But, sir, I must draw the attention of the minister to the very vague qualifications that are required of the members of the JJB and the chairman. And therefore, sir, without going into the details, and I could speak a lot about this, there is a need to really focus on the capacity and capability of these institutions that are going to play God on the lives of children. The JJB is a very, very powerful institution in determining the future of a child who is accused of a crime. And the JJB today in the Act, sir, has very, very broad, vague criteria. And I would hope, sir, that the minister focuses on this issue after the bill is passed. Sir, let me end. I had a lot more to say, but since you're putting pressure on me to end, I've made the two broad points. I want to say this, sir. This issue of justice for victims whilst protecting our children must not end with this bill. There is a lot of work that needs to be done, especially on the areas of institution building, capability building, in the Child Welfare Committee, the JJB, and the child courts. All three of these are reasonably dysfunctional today, sir, and I hope the minister will focus, after the passing of this bill, on building these institutions in a way where victims have rights, but children remain protected children of this country, sir. Thank you, sir. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much.